it's possible this is starting to get out of hand. Greetings, welcome back. So I've been working in beautiful cardboard here. I went to the Hobby Lobby, bought some of this tack board. It's kind of like poster board, but not quite as stiff, although some of it is poster board for the larger pieces. And I've been building, and I think I have a space here now that will fit the battery that I have. Will allow me to put a hood over the battery. I haven't made the hood yet, obviously, because you kind of have to make that later. And I can do a sloppy job. Have you seen a Willys Jeep hood? It does not fit very well from the factory, so that'll be nice. It also won't stick out any further than the front of the normal Power Wheels Jeep, and it looks more like a Willys Jeep. But to do that, I had to rebuild basically the entire front end. Give you a close-up. Here's the grill. The grill isn't perfect, but it, looks more like a Willys Jeep grill. And I wanted to go for the low top, the low hood one, the early Willys, because the later high hood ones I think look kind of dorky. And I think I got the details mostly right. Dimensions aren't perfect, but it's going on that Jeep. So it really doesn't matter if the dimensions are perfect. This cut in the shape kind of helps me look at the flange. It's not perfect. I want to fix something over here. But the way I did this is I made one nice pattern, cut to dimensions and kind of what I think is about as perfect as I can get. Then I cut out a copy, kind of snip it and make it form. So this isn't actually the pattern. That fender is over there. Did sort of the same thing, although this is the copy. This is the nice pattern. I alternated sides because lack of planning. This piece was particularly difficult to make, but I made it out of a single piece, front and back. You can see where the grill goes back there. And if you're looking down here, you can see I made like a 3/4 inch square tubing, but out of paper. And I also made it have flanges in a lot of places that I used as tape joints. And the idea there is that those will then become the flanges I use to attach the metal pieces. I will disassemble this, and then the pieces that are the patterns will be my cut patterns for when I cut out the metal. Thanks to scope creep, I ended up making the entire front end completely different, which means it's not going to fit exactly. I can't just put the panels over the old ones as I thought I could to like give it the facing of a Jeep, a Willys Jeep, but I need to figure out how to attach this to that thing over there. Stupid wide tires, why don't they screw these things on? These stupid push thingies aren't supposed to come off. It's almost like they don't want anybody modifying these things. There we go. Dual wheeled. That's the solution. Really, that tiny little piece is all that held this whole plastic tire on. That's not going to help me get it on the bench. Now this rod sticks out. Oh, never mind. No, it doesn't. Solutions! Oh, that comes out too. Huh. Ha-ha! And the wheels were the only things holding these motors in. Huh. This thing is just falling apart. Also, it's filthy. Okay, this is roughly kind of lined up vertically where it's going to go. I've designed this so that this line here roughly corresponds with this line here, which means I'm going to need to cut away a bunch of all of this. But how? Where exactly? So I need to find, I think, I need to find where this crease here lines up down here. Now to do that, I'm going to try to roughly eyeball it again. It's beneficial that the whole front of this is the front of here. So, okay, that's about right. Now if I take my ruler, roughly straight down-ish is here. I need to mark that with something. The Sharpie box I opened inappropriately. Alright, let's try that again. I'll call it there. There's the line. I'm going to have to figure out how to mark that somehow. And remember, this line here, plane here, is going to match up with this plane. This is going to cut in, so all of that's got to go, which means I got some markering to do. I'll start with the easy part because this flare has to go. The reason I'm just cutting off the flare and not the side part is because this plastic inner tub has to be structural somehow, so it can't all be gone. Kind of hoping this inner tub will give me a lot of the strength. Cut it off at the joint and then give myself a flange around here. You know what? I bet that won't work. Fantastic. Did I say flange? I meant I'm doing this. There we go. I'll cut along that joint in the vain hope I can save some of that. Man, this thing is getting my Sharpie all filthy. Brand new Sharpie, freshly opened with a power tool. Okay, I think I have my cut marks on this side marked out pretty simply. I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to cut off the other side. Probably just mirror. And looking at this, there's a support thing underneath. Okay, here you see some cut marks I'm going to make, and here you see some cut marks I'm going to ignore because those are wrong. I got to figure out how I'm actually going to cut into this. The plastic's kind of thick. Of course I'm going to try these metal shears. They work so well on everything else. Not even a 1/4 inch. These are not designed for cutting up Power Wheels Jeeps. One more shot though. Oh no, they do kind of work. Still not really going to help me though. I suppose one of the obvious methods is to use a saw. Got a lot of wood saws laying around. Let's see if they'll cut plastic. They sort of do. It's kind of weird holding onto a floppy shell while trying to cut it with a floppy saw. It does work kind of though. It gives me the benefit that I can cut pretty quickly. Alright, only 90% more to go. Cuts pretty easy though once you get to the flat part. Here's the ticket, woodworking tools. Plastic's like wood, right? They both come from nature? No, that's not right. Well, plastic's from fossil fuels. Fossil fuels come from nature. Of course, it's a bit like saying potatoes are vegetables, therefore fries are healthy. And fries at Five Guys are fried in peanut oil, which is another vegetable, double healthy. And it's off! Huzzah! And there we have it, first major cut. I cut the whole front off, cut its nose right off. Now I'm going to cut in here on both sides along this joint and kind of angle cut this and see where that leaves us. Alright, and there it is. The kind of angly part. I'm just doing this kind of freehand with this saw, so it's not very perfect. And for those of you wondering, why doesn't he just use a skill saw? You know, or anything with electricity. Well, good news. You can send me one, because I'm broke. Actually, you can't send me one, because I'm not going to give you my address. Send me one in spirit, I guess? I don't know. I'm saving up for, like, really cool stuff. Like, if I can get by with this, I will, but I can't get by with a crappy, like, welder. I need to buy a welder. I need to buy some other stuff, so saw will do for now. Ta-da! Alright, now I just have some more pieces that are kind of in my way. That came off easy. Now I guess I'm going to see if it fits. Of course not. What I didn't tell you is I had some bracing underneath that isn't really going to be in the model, but it was more to keep the cardboard square and supported. I didn't really use this model to make any patterns. I kind of did it all in math and then just made the patterns and then kind of checked fitment. But it was very useful, very helpful exercise. Because as simple as the bodywork on a Willys Jeep is, there are a few angles that intersect in ways I had not predicted. I assume I didn't predict it because I've never done this before. There we go, unnecessary bracing over there. And bingo! Sorta. Less exciting than I had planned, but there you have it. Okay, camera off tripod. Let me walk you through some of the differences between my Jeep front end and the Jeep I cut off. So most importantly is this angle. This angle is kind of unique. Crease here to the Willys Jeep that you didn't find in the Wrangler. This kind of top of the fender forms a plane with the top of this flange. That was the same. That flange formed a plane with the top of that. Come to think of it, I probably should have left some of that on, but it made a nice auto squaring device. Planning! I have a nice dash here. This top sits lower than the original Jeep top did. You didn't see the Jeep top. The top of the Jeep dash is over there on the floor. Discarded that immediately. The top of this is higher. This kind of door step in is higher than this, which is sort of not a problem because it allows me to hide the entire Jeep body under it. That can still offer some support. I may have to reinforce it a bit, but the Jeep tub goes lower than the body. This whole steering thing, remember how I said this might not fit with the new and improved battery box? Well, that's true. This isn't going to fit. I'm going to have to redo all of this. Luckily, the actual structural metal part is all underneath, and it's kind of all already there. There's not much that the plastic does. It offers a little bit of support and kind of holds everything in place. But the key structure is done by the metal. So not a huge loss, you know, just a lot more work, that's all. And I think I'm going to hide a lot of the Jeep tub, the Power Wheels tub, original tub, by painting it black. Probably flat black, and then paint the body of this some bright color, like maybe red. I don't know, maybe this red. That's a pretty red color under all the dirt. So there you have it. It's getting colder in my garage, but progress is continuing. Next, I think I'm going to finish cutting off this fendery thing and kind of come up with a game plan for the rest of this, although the rest of the back end is just kind of going to be sticking this on here, and that'll mostly be it. But I'm going to need a game plan for the steering, going to need a game plan for the rear axle. I think I'll maybe raise them up an inch, kind of lower it a bit. That'll make it easier, like I said, to get in and out of this. Or what I could do is put like a step hanging down here that I've seen on some actual Jeeps, which is nice. If you're wondering what the fender bit for here is, the other side's a copy. I didn't feel like cutting up my actual pattern and mounting that in here. But I hope you enjoyed. If you like this video, please leave a like or a comment. Anyway, yes, if you have any other tips, please leave them, even if you tell me to be safer. You know, that's never a bad thing. And hopefully I will see you next time with a much more cut up and yet completed Jeep. Bye-bye.